YouTube? It's Trey again. Figured I'd tell you about an interesting situation. So, I did a video before and about Filipina cheating and a foreigner going home, and it was one of those things that people wanted to hear more about, and so there I was, and I was sitting and talking about my YouTube channel, and they were talking about one of my videos and stuff like that, and Filipina actually joined us, and people there already knew this Filipina story and convinced her to tell me about it. And well, I was like, you know what, this is something maybe I should tell you guys about, because this is a Filipina telling her story about what she did and what the end results were. And let this be a precautionary tale, not just to Filipinas, but to you Westerners, men that want to date a foreign woman and not be here in the Philippines, or anywhere else in the world for that matter. So let's get into it, guys. Let's talk about this, because it's kind of odd that, first and foremost, a Filipina to tell you her story. So when somebody does, all of a sudden you start listening, right? So let's tell her backstory. So this Filipina, because remember, no names or no locations, and that'll be important in this story, especially for this particular Filipina. So she was dating a foreigner, and they had dated for a long time. Apparently it was about 5 years. So this Filipina and this foreigner, they were dating. She even got a passport and went and visited him and spent a whole month in the United States. So obviously, they had spent lots of time together. They had plenty of proof, and if you're a Filipina, you'll know that proof is very important if you want to visit the home country of your partner, right, or your foreigner. Without it, they'll just pull you off the plane. You won't get to go, even if you paid for the ticket, and you won't get reimbursed. So obviously they had lots of proof. They spent lots of time together. So apparently the relationship was going pretty good. Well, there comes a time, like I said, they've been dating for about 5 years, and apparently in those 5 years, they spent some time together, but they also spent time apart. It was an LDR situation. He would come over here, but being an American, if you're an American, you only get like a week off per year, 2 weeks if you've been there for a long time, right? And usually. Well, so he could only come over here and spend a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time per year. So if he was lucky, he got 2 times that he got to come over. She obviously came over once that we know of. At least that's what she said. But there's a lot of time apart. Now, where it gets interesting, right? You think you're the girl that you're dating, and things are going well, and you guys are making plans, and you know what? Everything seemed to be going right for this particular couple. Now, I'm gonna put my 2 cents worth in. Long distance relationships don't work. They never have, they never will. Too much time apart. It's so rare that it works that, let's just be honest, right? It's not worth doing an LDR situation. But that's my 2 cents worth, and that's my opinion. If it worked for you, you're one of the lucky ones, and congratulations. But in this particular case, obviously it didn't work out so well. But let's talk about what did happen, though. right? So their relationship's going great between them. They're seeing each other, they're talking on the phone, doing video chats, all that other fun stuff. And the visits a couple of times a year, or she goes to visit him, blah blah blah. Well, they start setting things up. He gets her and buys property, builds a house. They're setting up for their future, getting things all right, blah blah blah. Got a little piece of land that she can grow some vegetables on, or whatever the case is. And then here comes the fun part. He gives her a monthly allowance. Yeah. So life's really good for her. So apparently it was like $50K a month, which for 50,000 pesos, that's, maybe back then, I guess is about $1,000 US, per month. So she got a house, she got some property, and she's got an allowance. And she was saying that, her life was great. She had a loving partner, she got a house, she had a place to live, she could go out and do anything she wanted, anytime she wanted, she could buy anything she needed. Life was grand. But, those visits, right? Those long periods of time that he's not here and she's not there. Well, fast forward to, as what I would call a Jody. If you know what a Jody is, Jody's the guy that comes in the back door when you're not around. Now, whether it was her or this other guy, which happened to be a local, a Filipino, obviously, they decided to start a relationship. So she got what she needed, he got what he needed, and she was doing her own thing. Well, things happen. She got pregnant. So at this point, she didn't want her foreigner, her LDR, to find out. So she didn't allow her foreigner to come visit him because she didn't want him to see that she was pregnant. I guess that would cut everything off, right? I mean, no more allowance, all that other stuff. Things would be really bad for her. So it was like a whole year before he could come back and visit again, before she allowed it. Problem was that, she still continued the relationship with this guy. And then the baby comes along and the guy dumps her. So now she's got the baby and the foreigner's coming and he's going to find out. And guess what? He found out, guys. Oddly enough, the foreigner actually took it well. It is what it is. I don't know what else to say, but he said what I guess I would have said. It's not the baby's fault, which it's not. It's the moms and whoever else did this. Well, they were trying to work things out, and for whatever reason, and that's his choice and her choice, right? Has nothing to do with us, but I guess they were. Well, he went back home because he's not quite ready to retire yet, and he's still working on things. Guess what? Somebody else pulled up quick because he saw that this woman, although she had a kid, she had a house, she had some property, and she had money. So what do you think happened there? He pulled up quick, moved in, and took control of the situation. Now he controls that house. Now he controls her. He controls every aspect of it, right? And obviously, the foreigner has to find out at some point. So, now, this Filipina is being controlled, and she hates her life. She regrets everything she ever did. She had it good, and she screwed it all up because she basically got horny, I guess. I hate to say it like that, but Truth is, if she kept her legs closed, this wouldn't be a problem. And she would be living the good life. She screwed it all up. But now, she can't leave the house without him knowing. And he takes her everywhere. It was a shock that she happened to be where I was at and told me the story without him. Not sure why, but apparently this guy doesn't give her an inch. He doesn't trust her. He knows she's a cheater. And he knows what's going on, and he knows what she's done in the past, and thinks she'll do it again. And guess what? He's probably right. Given the chance, people do the same thing over and over again, right? That's what they do. People don't change. So now she hates her life. She has no life to speak of. She basically lost her house. She lost her land to this new guy, and she's controlled. She's told what to do, where to go, and everything else. And now she has no life, where before she had a great life. She had a loving partner, gave her money, took care of her, and all the other good things that went along with it. She absolutely enjoyed her life, but all because she couldn't keep her legs closed. This is what happens. Now, if she's being abused or he beats her or anything else like that, obviously she didn't tell me that part. And neither did the other people that were there. And you know what? That's their personal business. I'm not getting involved. But the truth is, she seemed pretty scared of this guy. So I wouldn't put it past the situation. But I don't know for sure. But think about this, guys. For you Westerners, for you foreign men coming over here and trying to do this LDR thing, you do have to deal with situations like this. I'm not saying they're all bad, but it does happen. In fact, I personally think it's not like that for the majority of the women over here, from what I've seen. Remember, this is my experiences and my opinions. But the fact that, you hear these stories and people tell you what they've done or what has happened to them, just be aware that things like this do happen. So LDR, if you're not here, man, don't give them money. Don't set yourself up like that. It's a recipe for disaster. You're setting yourself up for failure. If you're ready to settle down or do whatever the case is that you want to do with someone, you need to put boots on the ground. You need to be here. Not there in your home country and sending money here, expecting something that's going to flourish in a year or two or, whatever. It just doesn't work that way. And that's a recipe for disaster, guys. And for the Filipinas that, you decide you're going to do this, you're going to have to ask yourself, is it worth it? If you have a great situation and your partner loves you and takes care of you like that, they don't do it for no reason. So, you might be messing up a good thing. And everybody else knows here, as I've been told, they know who you are. They know your business. They're going to figure it out. And there will be meritus or chismis or gossip, however you want to term it in whatever language you want to use. So, and if the neighbor knows, so does the next neighbor. So does the person in the next barangay, the next village, the next town. Somebody knows somebody, which is going to make it harder for dating for you in the future. And if someone does take a chance on you, the likelihood of them being super controlling or watching your every move because of your past, well, that's pretty much going to happen. You can't get away from that. That's there forever. So think about it before you do the dirty or you do the deed like that, because it will show and you will suffer the consequences. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but eventually karma does catch up to you. And that goes with you guys too. If you're trying to play games with a Filipina or any woman all over the world, that shit will catch up with you. So think about those things before you do them. Treat people the way you want to be treated. If you don't want to be cheated on, don't cheat on your partner. Don't get mad at them for doing what you did to them. It is what it is, guys. And that doesn't make it right, and they're just as bad as you are. But that's all I really have to say about this. But again, like I said, you guys wanted to hear more about these types of situations, and the fact that a Filipina actually decided to tell me her story, I was like, yeah, let me talk about that. Let me put that out there, because I find that really rare that my story reached people and they wanted to tell their story. But hey, who knows? I actually talked to a couple of people, but since it was a Filipina, I wanted to put this one out here first. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Keep the comments coming. Like, subscribe, all that other fun stuff, and we'll do this again soon, okay? All right, guys, peace.